You are looking live at Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia, South Carolina. For the first time in decades, the Gamecocks are playing on a Sunday afternoon. Hurricane Matthew forced last night's game to be rescheduled, and the Georgia Bulldogs traveled about 3 hours by bus to meet their SEC East rival. And for Georgia, this has been a season of last-minute agony and ecstasy.
Eason, throw over the middle. He's got a man. McKenzie, did he catch it? Yeah, touchdown! He's hanging one long and deep. He's got a man. Oh, touchdown! 10 seconds remain. Dogs have taken the lead. Dobbs in the shotgun, throws to the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown. Tennessee wins. I don't believe it.
Unbelievable.
And the SEC East standings reflect the importance. Tennessee a loser for the first time. Florida and LSU postponed. How important is rescheduling that game now? Meanwhile, Georgia at 1-2 wants to snap back, and South Carolina badly in need of a win. They hope to keep stock in a bowl game. South Carolina chomping at the bit. The Georgia Bulldogs, led by first-year coach Kirby Smart. And, of course, our coaches, there's Kirby Smart. On the other sideline, Will Muschamp. They're a story. Folks, they were teammates for 1 year at Georgia. That's right, Muschamp was the senior. Kirby was the redshirt freshman. But later, these two were on the same coaching staff at Valdosta State and then LSU. So long-time buddies at Valdosta. Kirby even spent some time living in the Muschamp home before he could find an apartment of his own. And now they're about to compete here on a special SEC Saturday night on a Sunday afternoon. Kicks it away, and we are underway in Columbia. Reggie Davis for the Dogs brings it out. Hole, and return to about the 27-yard line, and here comes the freshman Jacob Eason.
I really like his talent, Brent, and his potential, and it's easy to see why he was the #1 rated high school quarterback coming out. 6'5", 235 pounds, moves well for a big guy, but he's got a howitzer connected to his body for a right arm. He likes to take shots deep down the field. He's got confidence that he can fit the football into small windows. I know he's really excited about getting his team back on the winning track. Big challenge today.
And there you see number 27. Georgia fans love seeing Nick Chubb in the starting lineup. McKenzie motion. Chubb behind the right side explodes. 46-yard line on 1st and 10. Chris Moody, the safety, with the tackle. Second and 10, play action. Chubb gives him a block, drops it in underneath. Folks, you're looking at somebody, Isaac Nada, who is going to be a story in the years ahead for Georgia. Michelle, hole on the left side. Another first down. Hard run to the 24-yard line for Michelle. What a terrific 1-2.
No doubt about it. And Sony Michel kind of has that speed, and he's so good when he gets to the open field. He has that innate ability just to make people miss. He missed some time early this year, too, with a left forearm injury, but right now they are fully loaded. And Brent, they've got 5 guys at running back that can come in the game and get touches, and it wouldn't shock me tonight if we saw all 5.
Yeah, Holyfield, Douglas, and Harry, and those are the other 3, Justin. They were real good. Here's first down and 10 now from the 24. First possession of the game if you've just tuned us in. Georgia stays with the running game and another first down. You know, Jess, I'm going to go back to the top of what you said. You said that Will Muschamp and the Gamecocks were expecting the running attack, and why not? Because they've given up so many yards.
Absolutely, and one of the problems they've had in the front seven, guys have not been able to disengage from blocks and make tackles, and you're kind of seeing that on this first drive. Defenders for South Carolina not able to get off and avoid these blocks and separate. Guys are getting pushed backwards, and right now Georgia running straight downhill.
Bynum, the fullback. Chubb is back in as the running back. Chubb, middle, squirts free. Game's first touchdown. Nick Chubb.
And another example of this Georgia offensive line just getting crazy movement up front right here. Look at 94, the defensive tackle, Kelsey Griffin, just gets moved back 5 yards to get the pulling guard in behind it. We saw that particular run play 4 or 5 times on that drive, already working with great success.
Drive started at the 27 after a good kickoff return. The Dogs go 73 yards in 7 plays, topped off by a 15-yard run by Nick Chubb. Georgia strikes first in Columbia, South Carolina. We'll start off, and here's the senior Perry Orth, as you predicted, Jess.
Yeah, Perry Orth, he's the most experienced quarterback. They've got 10 starts, and he's not the biggest guy at 6'1", 200 pounds. Doesn't have the strongest arm in the country, but what I like about him, he plays on time. He reads coverages, anticipates throws. He gets the football out. He's able to avoid sacks and negative plays because of that, and they need to have balance, and they need that by throwing the ball. He gives them their best chance.
And Rico Dowdle draws a start at running back. Orth back into his end zone. Throws a strike down that middle, and that's Hayden Hurst, the talented tight end, former minor league baseball player. Today he's going to return punts. Mr. Do Everything.
I think he's special, Brent. 23-year-old sophomore. Reminds me a lot of Jeremy Shockey, who I played with the New York Giants, because he can line up at tight end, can line up in the slot. They throw him screens. They throw him conventionally. Nothing he can't do. Threw a pass last week against Texas A&M, looked pretty good. You're going to see him tonight in an interesting way on special teams as well.
So 20 yards makes it a 2nd and 5 for Orth and the Gamecocks. Option look, high pitch. Not the cleanest of pitches, and it resulted in a 1-yard loss with Lorenzo Carter storming in. Brian Edwards, the freshman, returns, and he motioned through the formation. Oh, that was almost picked. Jumping, that was DeAndre Baker. He smelled it all the way. Made a jump, couldn't grab the football, or that would have been a pick six.
It was a phenomenal job by him outside, reading the eyes of the quarterback and reading the route. There was a slot receiver inside. Number 3 was Casey Crosby, the tight end, running that flat route, and Baker just did a good job biting down on it. And you're right, Brent, that was very close to being a pick six and going the other way.
Watch Michelle leaking on the left side. He and Chubb are both out there. Great block by Michelle. Eason though in trouble. Has to throw it away. Terrific Gamecock defense that time. Chubb threw a tremendous block, but the Gamecocks still broke through.
Sony Michel and Chubb, Brent, that were able to get that block on Jonathan Walton right coming through the middle. You're going to see him right here. There's Michel, cuts him. Chubb kind of finishes him. But just good coverage downfield, forces Jacob Eason to the right. It looked as though he had McKenzie open on the boundary late, but a nice job there by South Carolina's D.
Columbia. A little bit of a delay and did not fool Georgia whatsoever. DeAndre Walker jumped that play. So the first quarter comes to an end. For those of you folks who want to check out the Patriots, forget about it. They're up 30-7. Brady's thrown for 339 yards, 3 touchdowns. Welcome back, Mr. Brady. We'll return, folks. This is SEC football presented by Allstate. A Saturday night special on Sunday afternoon. Georgia leading South Carolina. South Carolina searching for its first down. Georgia had 7 in the opening quarter, and this is a toughie. 3rd and 10 for Orth and the Gamecocks. Good protection, fires over the top, and it's picked off by Parrish. Malcolm Parrish.
Parrish is having a great game. I think he's the best corner cover-wise that Georgia has. And this time, Perry Orth trying to force a corner route into his tight end, Hayden Hurst. But Parrish does a good job using his eyes and bailing out of the hitch route, and a nice job climbing the ladder and high-pointing the football, putting Jacob Eason in this offense in great field position.
They'll start from the 28-yard line, leading it by a touchdown. Slips out of that backfield. Overload that right side. Hitting the backfield and jumping away is Michelle. Got the edge. Dives for the end zone. Out of bounds, just short of it. Walton there defensively.
And Dante Sawyer, the defensive lineman, number 95 for South Carolina, he sprung into the backfield really quickly. But then South Carolina lost contain outside. Michelle able to make a miss, and you see there, great job by the film crew getting a good angle on this. Football in the left hand, gets knocked out of bounds. Ball goes out of bounds before he gets anywhere near the pylon. But now Georgia knocking on the doorstep. And
interesting, they overload. They put the big guys back. Michelle will be the running back. Hole to the left. But he kind of stepped away from the blocker and got thrown for a yard loss. And Lewis was one of the Gamecocks in on it defensively. And let's see if they send in Chubb right now.
Well, the interesting thing is that Georgia has a very unique position group on the field and goal line. They like to bring defensive linemen in when they get in these situations. So big number 97, John Atkins, at 315 pounds right there. He's your fullback. And then number 5 over here, he's another defensive lineman. That's Julian Rochester, the true freshman, getting big beef and some athleticism on the field.
Now let's see who Chubb follows. Great cut block, and he is stopped. Third down and goal. The Gamecocks trying to make a stand.
And this is where South Carolina has been so good, I think, on defense this year. They've given up a lot of yards between the 20s, but they seem to always excel when they get down in their own end. Only 38% of opponents' drives in the red zone have resulted in touchdowns. Gamecocks always play well with their back against the wall this season.
Mano mano. Muschamp's defense trying to hold its ground. Chubb stacked up. Touchdown. We'll get a second look at that one.
It went right up the middle behind their center, Cablano. Looked like the safety, DJ Smith, right here, 24. He's kind of late getting there, back behind the pile, and you're trying to find out where the football is in relation to the goal line when Nick Chubb's knees touch the ground.
Nothing really definitive, but that is really close. And the Dogs with a 2-touchdown lead. This one, of course, the result of this interception by Parrish, picks it off. And from there, the Dogs drive and go to the Heisman Trophy candidate, Mr. Chubb. They showed blitz, and so the Dogs may have tipped their hand a little early. It gave Orth time to check it out over at the sideline. Option look from Orth. Fumble, Georgia! Unless it's taken away, that's going to be Georgia football. That's 2 option looks, and neither of them have looked good.
And A.J. Turner just took his eyes off the football. This was a very good pitch by Perry Orth on the run. I think A.J. Turner was looking downfield to see where the defense and the tackles were coming from. You'll see here on the replay, speed option left. It's a good pitch right in the belly. He just took his eyes off it. That's the second turnover.
On the field with a backward pass, recovered by Georgia. First down.
So the ball is on the 36-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Dogs. They're up a couple of touchdowns now. Roquan Smith recovered that fumble.
These turnovers for South Carolina have been in their own end. It's put their defense in a very precarious situation. Early and often, surprise, surprise, Georgia back in a big set, multiple tight ends and a fullback.
So with the first down from the 41-yard line, throws it away to stop the clock at 51 seconds. Herrion checked in.
A smart heads-up play by a true freshman. You know, a lot of guys would just try to make that completion to the running back and risk potentially a tackle and losing more clock. You see Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, there looking on. He knows about coaching quarterbacks. Coach Drew Brees back at Purdue. Watch the Kirby Smart. I've seen that before from his old employer, I think, right? Nick Saban used to have some of those similar reactions.
Yes, indeed. Nick is more apt to turn on a coach, however, than a player. Second down and 10. I don't blame him. Incomplete. There's a penalty flag.
After review, there's no foul for targeting. There's no foul. Number 11 remains in the game.
Sigh of relief for Will Muschamp. Just good job on that replay. You're 1 for 1 today.
It's a long day. A lot of football to go.
Chubb is hit in the backfield. And a penalty flag comes flying. The umpire.
If that umpire saw face mask. Bryson Allen Williams. It'll be interesting to see.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Bryson Allen Williams, the linebacker that kind of blitz through the middle, and you see he kind of grabs and twists the face mask. Didn't have it for very long, but because he twisted it, that's why the personal foul was called. And what a break for Georgia's offense. South Carolina had them stoned and stopped. Probably would have forced a punt. But that penalty now, that certainly puts Georgia into field goal range here.
Final 30 seconds. Eason up in the pocket, fires, got an open man and overthrew him.
Terry Godwin.
He had Godwin open, and he simply overthrew him, or it would have been touchdown.
You're right, Brent. And Godwin ran a double move. He was in the slot, kind of ran a hitch and then a wheel. This is one that Jacob Eason's good enough to hit. Wide open down the boundary. Oh, I think Jacob Eason knew it too. We talked about that deep accuracy. He had a good throw earlier to Isaiah McKenzie that I think should have been caught. That's one the true freshman let get away.
17 seconds left. Eason with time. It throws high again. Now it is 12 seconds with a third down.
It just didn't come out pretty. It just kind of came out wobbling. I think the wind caught it a little bit and took it high. I don't think Kirby Smart feels great about a field goal from this distance with his kicker, Rodrigo Blankenship. He told us yesterday he'd like to kind of be probably on the other side, closer to that 25-yard line. But Georgia has to get some of this distance back. Still 2 timeouts, so plenty of time to set up a kick opportunity.
Herrion is the Georgia running back. He's swinging to the outside to daylight, a burst. 10, penalty flag. A penalty flag. In fact, a couple of them were thrown as he came to the edge.
Holding offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. We play third down.
So Terry Godwin's down here working. Watch at the left side of your screen. He just kind of, he like wraps up his legs. It's one way to get him to the ground. It's just a little bit obvious.
Time has expired in the half. That is the end of the first half.
Wow. Rips the headset off. And the bad news for South Carolina is that they trail by 2 touchdowns. The good news is they have not been put away. So the word from the field is that clock starts on a referee's signal after a penalty. He signaled it. The final seconds ticked away. And Georgia will take its 2-touchdown lead into the locker room here at the intermission. So Coach Smart is down below. Kaylee's with him. Kaylee?
Well, Coach, what was going on there at the end of the half?
Well, we're trying to get a timeout, take a shot at the end zone. The wind's been in our face. We didn't think we'd kick a field goal, so we just wanted to take a shot at the end zone rather than have them try to return a kick. We didn't get it in there.
Your run game has had its way with South Carolina's defense, but your quarterback, Jacob Eason, just 3 of 13. What has made his day so difficult?
I think he's a little confused, a little rattled. We got to continue to run the ball. We got to help him out with some easy passes.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, remember, Uga won the toss and received, so it'll be South Carolina with the ball when we come back for the second half. Let's go to the studio now. Peter Burns with Marcus Spears and Matt Stinchcomb. Take it away, Peter.
When the explosive plays and those opportunities present themselves throwing it, they've got to come up with them right now because their defense, Will's right, they're playing their hearts out, but for how long can they do that?
Going to get the ball first. A.J. Turner runs up to the 7-yard line. A.J., strong return to the 36-yard line.
Lost an opportunity to score points.
So it's first down and 10. And to come with the running game, A.J. Turner, he's thrown for a loss. Patrick is in there with Smith.
Yeah, I think it's going to be critical that South Carolina is able to establish some form of running game. It's been hard for them throwing down the field in drop-back scenarios.
Wide open, and he threw high. Edwards was standing alone, and Perry Orth did not connect.
And that's what we just talked about a second ago, Brent. There haven't been a lot of those opportunities with wide open Gamecock receivers downfield. When they show up like that, you have to make sure you hit them. You've already had 3 turnovers. You're struggling running the ball. That has to be pitch and catch. Because of the incompletion now, setting up a 3rd and long.
Georgia rushes 4. They drop off underneath. And well short of the first down is A.J. Turner hit by Carter.
Yeah, it was a really nice effort, a good play call, I think.
South Carolina shows blitz. Coming from the backside. Couldn't get to Michelle, and he broke it out to midfield.
Another great block by the center, Brandon Cublano, who's coming out and pulling, and he's going to take on T.J. Holloman. They've got guards, and they've got centers right here working through the middle. You don't oftentimes see centers doing this, and he just kind of picks right through the hole, picks up T.J. Holloman, and that gave Sony Michel and his quickness the space he needed.
And he picks up 16 yards as Georgia comes across midfield here. Chubb returns. Steps out to the right, big hole. Breaks another tackle. What a run by Nick Chubb. Back to the 9-yard line.
And this looks like the Heisman Trophy candidate, SEC Offensive Freshman of the Year that we saw the last couple of years. Just vision, feet, the ability to run through contact, break tackles, the burst. We talked about you can't bring him down with one guy, especially as a secondary. You must gang tackle number 27. This is as good as he's looked to me in a long time. That is great news for the Bulldogs heading forward.
39 more yards for Nick Chubb. 15 carries for 124, and both of their touchdowns. Swinging it is McKenzie. Going to double back. Surrounded and thrown for a loss. That's Bryson Allen Williams, who has been all over the field defensively.
Yeah, it was a nice job defensively out wide. Chris Moody at safety took on a block, and that was what forced Isaiah McKenzie to come inside. Watch out here left. Number 6 is going to take on the block there by Sony Michel. That kind of forced McKenzie to have to work back.
Wims and Godwin and McKenzie are off to the right in this formation. Second down and goal, but they're backed up around the 14. Wants to hurry. Gets it off. Deflected, intercepted. On the deflection. Wilder intercepts it.
So
the first Georgia turnover. There's a Gamecock player injured on the 20-yard line, and the Gamecock sideline is alive.
There's the turnover that South Carolina needed. It had 8 in the last 3 games. They needed a play to change the complexity of this game, and they come up with a huge interception here to try and get some of this momentum back.
Watch King. Hand on the ball, up in the air, and then Wilder. Timeout. 2nd down and 7 for Orth and the Gamecocks. Throws in underneath for a first down, and that's August, one of his tight ends. He was wide open in the middle. No coverage on him. What, 4:40 Eastern time in Columbia. 1st down and 10. Play action. Deep down the sideline, one-on-one. What a catch by Samuel. Samuel made a great play. He was hand fighting all the way with Baker. Watch this grab. It's a beauty.
There's the explosive plays this offense has been missing. And you know, Deebo Samuel hurt his hamstring in the first play against Mississippi State way back in the 2nd game. Hasn't been back on the field since up until today. And you see the explosive speed that he possesses on the outside, able to run by DeAndre Baker. Offense loves having that back.
2nd down and 10. On a slant for 8 yards to Edwards. Big target. Edwards is 6'3".
And now having these receivers back, Brent, makes it so much less predictable on situations like this, because we've already known they have the tight ends in Hayden Hurst and Crosby and August, but now you've got Samuel and you've got Edwards, and there's viable targets everywhere. And if you're defensive coordinator Mel Tucker for Georgia, where do you anticipate the ball going?
See that first down marker across the way, just shy of the 19. See if his second effort not going to get it this time. Smith was in there. Rochester was in there.
If they don't get it, they need to go for it, I think. If I'm Will Muschamp, you've got momentum finally on this drive. The crowd's kind of coming back on your side. You got to take advantage of this. Down 2 touchdowns in this scenario. They bring in the big true freshman running back, Rico Dowdle. He's been their best inside runner these last 2 games.
They need a yard. They move the muscle over to the left side of the formation. They bring him up the middle. He breaks it. Beautiful run. Beautiful run off of that formation. The Dogs thought for sure it was coming to their defensive right, and they crushed the middle.
Great movement from the center and the left guard getting push on the nose tackle.
Bring the jet sweep. Samuel, twist, end zone, touchdown. Oh, baby.
He's a dynamic playmaker that this offense has missed. 6 feet, 205 pounds, but he's really strong. Not just catching passes, but also on jet sweeps. Does he get in? You're looking at where the football is in relationship to the goal line before his knee or elbow touches the ground. Twisting around, yeah. I think it breaks the plane. I think the call on the field was correct.
Elliott Fry tacks up the extra point. Ball game on. Georgia had a chance to put it away in the first half, and they did not. And now, after the interception, Carolina goes 90 yards in 12 plays. Samuel caps it off with a 9-yard touchdown.
You know, I thought they looked really good week 1 against UNC. It kind of started getting stalemated in stone in games against Nichols and Missouri, but these last 2 weeks, they've looked good. And they're an undersized offensive line playing extremely physical here today.
Chubb checks in for 2nd and 7. Swinging to the outside, he's cut off. Outstanding defense by Antoine Wilder, number 21. He would not give him the edge, and help showed up. 21 is the youngster who intercepted that pass, too. That's 4-yard loss for Chubb. The ball is spotted on the 38-yard line. Eason dropped. Chubb couldn't get the handle. He chucked it down to flare it outside, and Georgia forced to punt it away, and things have changed here in Columbia.
Yeah, you can just feel all the momentum now switching back and shifting to the Gamecocks. They made some things happen defensively here early with a turnover in this half. They were able to convert that into a score, and now Perry Orth, who looked very good on that last drive, going to get another opportunity.
Chaney talking to his quarterback on the sideline. Meanwhile, you're looking from behind long. Hurst awaits this punt on the Gamecock 25. Lets it bounce. Gave up too much ground. Not a good decision. So the woes of the punt return team continue. Ball is down inside the 5-yard line. Outfielder's got to run up and catch that ball, young man. Play action from his own end zone. Got out, but barely. Tough third down coming up. You can see what field position is doing to this game. It's amazing. The average drive for South Carolina has started on their own 17 as opposed to the 34 for Georgia as we come to the end of the third quarter. Georgia 14, South Carolina 7 on an SEC Sunday afternoon.
Georgia needing a pass rush. How about Lorenzo Carter down here working against the left tackle one-on-one?
Need 11 yards from his own end zone. Got time, threw underneath, no flag on that play. A.J. Turner had slipped out of the backfield, and that was Smith. 34-yard punt. Gives the Dogs a 1st and 10. Harry and the running back breaks the daylight to the 25-yard line.
You know, it's an offensive line that's really not that big. We keep saying that. And their offensive line coach, Sam Pittman, who came from Arkansas, he's used to having monsters, much bigger than this Georgia O-line. And I think they're going to recruit bigger players in the future. But like I said, these last 3 games now, really 2.5 games, this O-line is finally coming into a rhythm. They've got continuity, they're communicating, and they're playing more physical. They've run the ball all day so well.
That left guard, Isaiah Wynn, did a great job on that. He's out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Daylight Harry, and again inside the 10, Elder with the stop.
Isaiah Wynn, you just mentioned him, Brent. A great block by the left guard that time. He's only 285 pounds, so he's giving up a lot of weight. Right here in the left, look at 87, just get that little hook block. He's able to hold number 93, Ulrich Jones, and pin him to the inside. Really impressed.
Gonna throw. Caught. And McKenzie is tackled short of the end zone, I believe. No touchdown. He got the pylon. What a great move by McKenzie. Wait till we take a look at this.
Yeah, phenomenal effort here by McKenzie. Watch him stretch the football out with the right arm, hitting the pylon before he goes out of bounds.
He may have been out of bounds. Really? Hold on to this one.
Oh.
Take a look at this one, Jess.
Watch where his legs are and if anything hits. We got the super zoom. No, I think he stayed in bounds, Brent. I think that foot stayed in bounds, and then he was able to reach the pylon with the ball, which is part of the end zone. Now he's in.
Yeah, stayed in the air.
He's in. Great
exactly right.
effort.
Great 2 for 2, Jesse Palma. And Blankenship tacks on an extra point. A huge touchdown for the Dogs. First down and 10 now. Perry Orth has gone all the way at quarterback. They're down 2 touchdowns. They've got 5 minutes. Fumble recovered back at the 16-yard line. Let's go back to Kaylee. Send 4 wide. Orth to the middle, and Georgia jumps it at the 30-yard line. An interception by Mosier. There. Hold on a second now. No, something happened down there. I thought for a second, did he take it away from him?
Well, I thought Mosier.
That's Pollard. I thought tight end we haven't even mentioned. Watch him.
I thought Mosier picks this off, goes to the ground, and once they get to the ground, then it was Keel Pollard that ripped it away. But I think that should be an interception.
But it puts 4th and 6 over the middle. Got him, first down, midfield. There's Hurst with a great run to the 35-yard line. Brilliant.
And it's the tight ends making the plays over the middle of the field right now. Perry Orth.
Looking back in trouble. Orth is sacked by Carter. Lorenzo Carter, one of the best athletes on this Georgia team, able to get the job done.
He's their best pass rusher,
South Carolina.
and he's had an opportunity to make many more sacks this year. Just wasn't able to finish on a lot of them, but at 6'6", 240, shows off the speed and the length. Big pass rush coming off the edge.
Looking, beat the tackle. Sprint through. Orth cannot escape. Here's your 3rd and 9. Orth done a good job throwing the ball. 21 of 30, 254 yards. One costly interception in the first half. Gets it off in underneath to Samuel, breaks a tackle, and crosses the 25-yard line. Gamecock first down, and he gets out of bounds.
Did everything you want to do. How much of a difference and impact is number 1 had on this offense? Deep down the field, jet sweeps, and then tough running underneath. Exactly, turn up field right away, break a tackle from a linebacker, then a corner, and get out of bounds after getting the first.
Move the pocket to the right. Orth fires deep, deflected, incomplete. Edwards, the tall target, and he was defended by Parrish.
And that was good coverage. I've said tonight, I thought there were a couple times these Georgia DBs got there early. That time Parrish timed that up perfectly over a bigger wide receiver in Brian Edwards.
Middle, caught again, but short of that first down on this play as they go back to Hurst.
Yeah, and I use the timeout here because this is the critical down. It's 4th down, and it doesn't matter what happens after this if you don't get it now. So a good job by Will Muschamp using that timeout. Make sure you get the right play call.
South Carolina.
4th down and 1. They're going to run the freshman, and he's got the first down. How about that? Putting the ball in the hands of the freshman. And Georgia, of course, hanging on and pushing and hoping more seconds run down. Then when they get him down, they'll stop it at 2:05 briefly while they get up.
No substitution for South Carolina. They want to save as much time as possible, so get the play call going.
Got to hurry now. Clock's restarted. Orth, end zone, receiver was interfered with. Hurst coming across, tripped by Sanders.
And Georgia's had problems trying to cover big number 81. They've tried.
Interference of the defense, number 24. The ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
They've tried corners and they've tried safeties. That's Dominic Sanders, guilty of the PI. And just look inside, there's the corner route, beats him outside and kind of hooks him and kind of bats him, and their legs get tangled up. Good call.
Now, first down and goal. The freshman, touchdown. Dowdle powers in. And now, in the hands of the kicker, first the extra point, and then it'll be the onside kick. But there are some folks who are wide awake for this extra point. Bada bing.
Go back and take a look at this touchdown. I want you to watch Alan Knott at center and the block he gets. Roquan Smith, their linebacker, is going to kind of try and shoot through the A-gap. Why don't you watch the center right here? On this block, he's just going to almost left shoulder scoop him. You're coming in. No, you're not. Just pushes him to the side, just gets rid of him. And that opened up a huge hole. Great job using his leverage, a little shoulder. Roquan Smith goes flying out of the picture. And there's a true freshman, Rico Dowdle, who had a fumble earlier in the game. Nice run there.
So Sean Kelly's going to hold it for him.
I don't think he's going to hold it, Brent. I think he's going to kind of back up as if he might be one of the other guys. Yeah, they kind of do that cross thing where a guy goes first and the other guy goes next.
And here it is. Bounces up in the air and is down right there. Picked off by Terry Godwin. So Godwin runs it in, not even touched.
There were great blocks in front of him, Brent, by the fullback Christian Payne and number 15 DeAndre Walker. They did a fantastic job up front getting key blocks. Watch this. One bounce, two bounces right up in the air, and just in front of him there's this massive hole that opens up, and it was because of the fullback Christian Payne and their linebacker DeAndre Walker. It's not how you draw it up if you're South Carolina onside kicking.
Blankenship. The Dogs will get back on their buses and head back to Athens with a big win. Snapping the losing streak. I have to say, Jess, they responded very well, even from the start of this game, considering how they lost last week to Tennessee.
I agree, and you didn't know how that was going to be, right? Because there are so many freshmen and sophomores on this Georgia team, and that could be demoralizing, losing a game the way you do in such a big game against Tennessee at home. But they came out, they were physical on offense, ran the ball defensively, opportunistic, took away the ball 3 times in the first half, and this was a dogfight, and Kirby Smart told us yesterday he knew this game was going to go down to the wire. I think Kirby Smart learned a lot about his young team here today. Impressive win.
Strong kickoff. Out on the 25 with 1:33 remaining. With a minute and a half to go, again trailing by 2 touchdowns as the onside kick explodes. Goes down at the 14-yard line. Trenton Thompson, a big fella from Albany, Georgia. Only a sophomore. Great feet. Coaches all around the conference say he's the real deal.
He's going to get paid a lot of money to play on Sundays one day. Future star in the SEC.
Second down and 21. Orth steps away from that pressure this time. Wrestled free to the 20-yard line. A.J. Turner, the running back.
South Carolina's still only averaging 14 points a game offensively, and they need to be more explosive.
Working the middle with Samuel, and let me check that. That was Crosby. Crosby working the middle of the field. This could be the last play of the game for South Carolina, and it is. Game over. 28-14. The Dogs. Amici there defensively.
I think looking at Georgia offensively tonight, really impressed with their ability running the ball. 327 yards rushing. And they've looked really good since the second half of Ole Miss, and that's going to be really big in this game right here against a good front from Florida, a team they've lost 2 in a row to. And then keep your eye on this one right here. Maybe the most improved team in the SEC over the last 3 weeks. They've got a really good defensive line. They're deep. Georgia's going to have to keep consistently running the ball. But I think because of that, they've got a shot. I really believe they've got a shot to win out and make this thing interesting in the SEC East.
No doubt about it, Jess. So Kirby Smart and the Dogs come away with a win here today. And there's his good friend, Will Muschamp. Wasn't Eason's best game, but he'll take the W, thank you. 5 of 17 for only 29 yards, but he had a touchdown and an interception. Win for Georgia Bulldogs here tonight. And our final score is 28-14. Georgia with the win. We say so long from Columbia. Jesse Palmer, Kaylee Hartung. I'm Brent Musburger. And let's return you to the studio with Peter Burns for SEC Now. Take it away, Peter.